Welcome to Enter the Unknown. My name is FJ, and last time out we began a brand new random card challenge in the Hoenn region. If you missed that, you can check it out for a breakdown on how this series works. It'll be linked in the description. We had a couple of rival battles with May and earned our first 2 gym badges against Roxanne and Brawly. Today we're going to be heading from Dewford to Slateport and then onwards to Mauville to go after our 3rd gym badge against Watson. In terms of difficulty, I'd rank the electric type specialist way up there with the toughest gym leaders in all of Pokémon. We also have the Route 110 rival battle with May coming up, which can definitely cause some problems. As I mentioned last time, we're adding the cars in 3 groups, and now that we've taken down the Dewford gym leader, we're going to be adding the 2nd stack. We've already got all of the Pokemon whose base stat totals sit at or below 350, and now we're bringing in all of those who rank between 351 and 450. As you can see here, we're mostly looking at decent 2nd stage Pokemon with a few weaker fully evolved options sprinkled among them. These additions should give us a better chance in the tougher battles that we're about to face, because sticking below 350 going forward would make things next to impossible in some instances. Alright, the first battle of the video is going to be the rival battle with May on Route 110, and we're gonna need a team of 3. The trio of Wingull, Slugma and Grovyle shouldn't be too tough to take down if we get some decent cards, so let's see who we'll be using. Alright, we've got Fearow, Horsey and Swellow. That's pretty damn good. It's a nice bit of luck to get 2 flying types out of the mix right before Watson too. It seems pretty weird to me that Fearow and Swellow both have base stat totals south of 450, and the latter's was actually increased from 430 to 455 in Gen 7, but for now they're both pretty average. Still, I'd imagine they'll be more than enough to help deal with May here. Let's have a quick look at the team. Miedo the Fearow's up first, and at level 18 he's got the moves Peck, Growl, Leer and Fury Attack. Also at 18 we've got Inky the Horsey, and her moveset's made up of Bubbles, Smokescreen and Leer. Finally we've got Zazu the Swellow, who's on par with May's Grovyle at level 20, and he's equipped with Quick Attack, Growl, Double Team and Wing Attack. I didn't put any effort into movesets here because for once we're actually overpowered. That doesn't really happen much in these videos. Okay, let's do this. Our rival leads off with her Wingull and we start things with Fearow. I decided to go risky for starters by calling for Fury Attack, and of course it missed. I think in 20 years of playing Pokemon I've hit with Fury Attack like once. It's probably my least favourite move ever. Wingull ends up confusing Miedo with Supersonic, but I'm stubborn so we go for Fury Attack again. Okay, twice. On the incredibly rare occasion that it actually connects, obviously it's only good for 2 hits. Fearow goes for another Fury Attack and ends up just aggressively pecking at himself while Wingull douses him with a water gun. This is a really terrible start. Miedo snaps out of confusion and misses Fury Attack. Again. I swear to you, it says 85% accuracy, but it's like 3% tops. May's Wingull actually succeeds in taking Fearow below half health before he miraculously makes contact with another Fury Attack. 2 times. Again. I hate that move. Water Gun leaves Miedo with only 15 hit points, and I ultimately give up and call for Peck to finish things. In 5 attempts, Fearow essentially hit 1 base 60 power attack. Still, it's enough for the first win of the match, and Slugma's up next. We recall Miedo and send out Horsey, who should make light work of the Fire Slug. On switching, she's pummeled by a rock throw, but, well, pummeled is probably a bit extreme. Peppered, maybe. It dealt 6 HP of damage. Inky sends a barrage of bubbles straight at the fire type, leaving her in one-shot range. May calls for Yawn, but it's too little too late. A second bubble attack finishes off Slugma, taking May down to 1. Grovyle comes out last, and he must just be praying that Petrie Jr. isn't in the Pokeball that we throw out. Sadly, we didn't draw Butterfree here, but I can't imagine seeing Swellow exactly fills the grass starter with confidence. Absorb makes virtually no impact on the flying type, who shakes it off with ease and clotheslines Grovyle with Wing Attack. That single shot wins us the battle, and although our early game rival failed to put up much of a fight, we have made a new enemy in Fury Attack. Alright, once we reach Mauville, we've got another rival battle on our hands. I think the odds of our run coming to an end here are basically 0. Now that Magikarp has been drawn, I'm not sure there are any cards in play that won't get us past Wally. The son Norman never had only has a single Pokemon, and that is Ralts. I think Weedle is the only card left in play whose base stat total is lower than the Psychic types, and with the weakness we might have a problem if we draw the bug. Let's see. We're gonna be using Nidorina for this one. Yeah, that should do nicely. At least we've got the Psychic type weakness to give Wally a bit of hope. At level 16, Turkey the Nidorina's got the moves Scratch, Growl, Tail Whip and Double Kick. Okay, let's see what Wally can do. Green hair, green pants, can't lose. Nidorina starts things off by charging Ralts down and striking with Scratch, but Wally makes a pretty good call by going for Double Team. It doesn't pay off right away as Turkey picks the right Ralts and slices him again with Scratch. After Confusion sends Nidorina crashing back across the battlefield, she closes in on Ralts again but this time swipes wide with the Psychic type. That allows Ralts to connect with Confusion once more and leave Turkey one hit away from fainting. Knowing another mistake could mean a loss, Nidorina races in close once more, focusing on her aim and strikes. Scratch throws Ralts backwards into Wally, knocking him out and handing us the win. You know what? He gave us a battle and that's more than I expected. Good job, Wally. One more miss and we would have lost. Let's just be thankful that unlike her male counterpart, Nidorina doesn't learn Fury Attack. Alright, with May and Wally brushed aside, we can move on to the Mauville City Gym. Watson's got a team of 4 and with only a single weakness, we're gonna need a ground type to make this one easy. We don't have access to any ground type TMs yet and most Pokemon don't commonly learn ground type moves early on unless they're Stab. Okay, let's see who we'll be using. For our third gym battle, we're gonna have the team of Bellsprout, Meowth, Nidoran Male, and Venonat. That is not good. We do at least have the resistance with Bellsprout, but this one could be unwinnable. Magneton is going to cause some serious issues here. Let's get an idea of what moves we'll be working with anyway. Patches the Bellsprouts at level 20 with the moves Vine Whip, Growth, Poison Powder, and Sleep Powder. I guess we can try to set up with Sleep Powder and Growth, maybe? Bullion the Meowth's also at level 20 and her moveset's made up of Scratch, Growl, Payday, and Bite. Nothing of real interest there. Dory the Nidoran's at 22 and he's got Horn Attack, Leer, Poison Sting, and Double Kick. Having a fighting type move is something of a saving grace here because we're absolutely going to need that against Magneton. That's the only super effective move that any of our team have access to at this point in the game, and it's only super effective against one of Watson's 4 team members. Finally, we've got Sultana the Venonat, who's at level 24 and his moves are Confusion, Disable, Supersonic, and Poison Powder. I can't see this one going well, but let's give it a try. Watson leads off with Voltorb and we start out with Bellsprout. Somehow our best strategy is to set up and sweep with Bellsprout, so let's get working on that. Voltorb's Spark deals a little bit of damage, but it's nothing to worry about yet, especially when Patches connects with Sleep Powder. We actually managed to get off a trio of special attack boosts while Voltorb's napping, but it wakes up to hit another Spark before Patches can attack. Bellsprout counters with a Vine Whip that sends the living Pokeball rolling back towards Watson. Another Spark leaves Patches with less than half his HP, but a second Vine Whip knocks out Voltorb to give us the first win of the battle. Watson sends in Electrike next, and knowing that we're likely to see Howl before any attack, we call for another Sleep Powder. Patches connects once again on the status move and things are looking pretty good. Bellsprout cracks the sleeping Electrike with a Vine Whip that wipes out around 3/4 of his HP, but unfortunately it also wakes him up. The Lightning Pokemon lives up to his name with a swift quick attack, but Patches recovers rapidly to hit back with another Vine Whip. That's 2 KOs for Bellsprout and we've made it to Magneton. Sadly, Bellsprout's subpar speed stat means landing another Sleep Powder is a no-go. The trio of magnetized Magnemites send a powerful shockwave straight at him. That's enough to hand us our first loss of the matchup, but we're still in a 3-on-2. We call on Nidoran next, hoping Double Kick will be enough to get us past the Magnet Pokemon, but an immediate Thunder Wave leaves him paralyzed. Breaking through the paralysis, Dory lands a super effective attack, even scoring a crit on the second blow. Watson calls for a Sonic Boom, which is fine by me, and Nidoran ignores the paralysis to attack once more. Double Kick leaves Magneton in red health, but that's pretty much the worst case scenario here. Watson restores his penultimate Pokemon with a Super Potion, and although Dory gets off another attack, we're not in great shape. Magneton adds Confusion to our growing list of problems with Supersonic, but somehow Nidoran manages to land yet another Double Kick. It takes Magneton back into one-shot range and things are starting to look up, so Watson breaks out another Super Potion. Not cool. Dory's issues finally catch up to him as he hits himself with Confusion, and Magneton adds insult to injury with a crit Shockwave to finish him off. In spite of all of his hard work, Nidoran returns to his bowl with Magneton at full health. We could drag this one out, but I feel like you probably know that Venonat and Meowth don't stand a chance against Watson's Magneton. You could probably tell that we got very lucky here, and we did. This happened hours into attempting this battle, and it was the first time that we got close to taking out Magneton. Anyway, let's go again. I hadn't really altered my strategy here, I still had some remote faith that it could work. The Voltorb portion of the battle played out exactly the same more or less, but this time Bellsprout came out on the other side with a few more hit points. Electrike's where this one took a turn. Instead of going for Sleep Powder and risking the miss, I decided that a couple of Vine Whips was the safer play. Patches wasn't into that though and decided to land a critical hit to knock Electrike out and won. We're in uncharted waters here. Bellsprout's made it to Magneton with enough health to live through an attack. We call for Sleep Powder and we really need it to work. Shockwave weakens Patches, but he puts the Magnet Pokemon to sleep and now we've got a chance. I could have switched out, but with all of the special attack boost to Bellsprout it seemed safer to stay in and attack. Patches forces Watson to use a super potion and leaves Magneton just above half health before it wakes up to finish him off. Still, we're in our best position ever here. Knowing Bullion and Sultana can play a part against Manectric, we send in Nidoran. We've seen that a double kick isn't enough to KO from here, so call for a Leer instead. We get a huge break as Magneton misses Supersonic, but it tries again and succeeds on the second attempt. Dory doesn't care about confusion though. He breaks through and this time he's intent on finishing it. Not only is the first kick a crit, but he lands a second one for good measure. After countless attempts, we've finally taken down Magneton and now only Manectric remains. Even after a Thunder Wave, Nidoran puts in a heroic performance to force Manectric to consume his Citrus Berry, but Quick Attack eventually takes him down. Venonat is next in line, and with Supersonic, my ultimate goal was to get Manectric to hit himself in confusion with his attack raised way up. That doesn't quite pan out, but Sultana does deal a bit of damage and leave Manectric poisoned. A critical hit on Quick Attack spells the end for Venonat, so now it's up to Meowth. We did replace Scratch with Cut before this one because why not, and after a Shockwave leaves Bullion weak, she strikes. A critical hit leaves Manectric in red health and the poison kicks in to take him down to what can only really be 1 HP. Watson uses another super potion and Quick Attack earns Manectric a third knockout. This has to be possible though, I think. Mostly just to get a break from Watson, we spend ages gambling to earn enough coins to get ourselves the TMs for Psychic and Double Team. Did I forget that Watson's whole gimmick was that his entire team has Shockwave which never misses? Why yes I did. I'm not sure I've ever been quite as disappointed in Pokemon as my first attempt with the new moves. After getting off 4 double teams while Voltorb was asleep, it just woke up and attacked with Shockwave. That was heartbreaking. Anyway, let's go again. I'd mixed it up with this one to the point where I just wanted to max out Bellsprout's special attack to see how that worked. We did manage to trigger an early super potion usage with that, but it also meant that Patches was very weak coming out of the Voltorb matchup. Luckily, Electrike just loves Howl, so he doesn't even attack, allowing a one-shot with a Vine Whip. Unluckily, Static kicks in to paralyze Bellsprout. Not that it makes a huge difference. Magneton makes quick work of Bellsprout, and then I kicked another new strategy into effect that involved a lot of switching to use Supersonic, so Nidoran had a better chance of avoiding hits. It actually worked reasonably well with Watson using his second super potion before Magneton took care of Sultana and Dory. Without anything left to heal though, Meowth's able to finish off Magneton to leave us in a one-on-one. It's a completely hopeless one-on-one that we could never win in a million years, but it was nice to see Manectric. That didn't happen often. I was counting attempts to start with, but I genuinely gave up before the first attempt you got to see. Anyway, not giving up yet, I think. Another attempt, another new strategy. This time we're not doing any setup, we're just going to try to knock out Voltorb while it's asleep and then switch out. Bellsprout comes through big time with back-to-back crits on Vine Whip to put us in our best position yet. The conclusion I eventually reached was that Patches needed to play a bigger part against Magneton, so we recalled him and sent in Meowth. For some reason, Watson instructs Electrike to use Howl twice and then attacks with Shockwave, which means Bullion can score a pretty easy knockout and we're in great shape heading into Magneton. There wasn't much point in switching out so somebody else gets hit, so after a tame bite, Meowth is defeated by Shockwave, but that's fine. We send Bellsprout back in to put Magneton to sleep, and after being paralyzed with Thunder Wave, he breaks through to do just that. We switch out to Nidoran, who lands a massive back-to-back crit of his own, forcing Watson to use his first super potion. The recovery period means Magneton stays asleep for even longer, and Dory just keeps kicking away. Magneton wakes up just long enough to attack with Sonic Boom before Nidoran puts him away for good. Alright, we're in a 3-on-1 against Manectric, but we've been here before. Watson still has a super potion, and if that's not working, he'll probably just come and punt Dory through the wall of the gym. No need for that, I guess. One Shockwave makes it a 2-on-1, so not ideal. We call on Sultana next because I still like the Supersonic strategy against Manectric. I do have to make a tough call and end up opting to go for Poison Powder. That means we no longer have the option of putting Manectric to sleep, but hopefully it won't come to that. Combining Psychic, Poison, and self-inflicted confusion damage, there are a bunch of potential ways to weaken Watson's ace. Somehow, without landing a single attack on Venonat, the powered-up Electric type hits himself with confusion and then falls to the Poison. We've done it with 2 reasonably healthy Pokemon standing. It just took an obscene amount of luck on crits, status move accuracy, sleep duration, and Watson's move choices. I think I could run this one back with these 4 for another day and not pick up another win. There have been a lot of tough battles in random card challenges prior to this one, and there will be a lot more to come, but I'm not sure there'll ever be a battle like that one. I think I'm going to have to call it there for episode 2. We somehow lucked our way into a 3rd gym badge, and if possible I'd like to go after 2 more next time. Flannery and Norman can both cause a lot of trouble though, so who knows if that'll even be an option. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.